Hey, phone malfunction, what's up? It's the Culture Detective here, investigating your favorite places and favorite countries and cities. And today, as promised, I'm gonna start talking more about USA. As I am speaking, my phone is not in the best shape, so I'm worried. Yeah, anyway, so a couple weeks ago, or I think a week ago, I forgot, I dropped a video talking about my experience at Alaska, USA. And it's the second state that I've ever been to in USA, and I've had an amazing time in Alaska. And you know, I was basically in a cruise, and I'm gonna give you a little more backdrop here. I went to the USA twice in my life. Once in the year 2009 when I was just, I think, 6 years old, and then another time in the year 2016 when I was just 13 years old. So yes, I completely forgot about what happened in what happened to me when I was 5, and so I forgot, simply. So I'm just gonna talk about all the things that had happened to me in 2016, and it's all gonna be happening in Seattle, USA, and also some other places in Washington. I don't know, it depends how you define Seattle, but yeah, generally Seattle. However, around 5 years ago, I actually wrote all my memories down, all my memories of my first USA trip down onto a notebook, and I do have a little inkling bit of a memory from, you know, the 2009 trip to USA because of this. So I'm just gonna talk about that a little bit. So yes, my grandmother lives in Seattle, and so is my third, more like my second aunt and her husband. And so my family decided to visit them one summer in 2009, and it's great. I had a lot of fun because I was really young and I didn't really care for anything. Oh my gosh, my phone is dying. Yeah. So, mainly, I stayed in Bellevue, Seattle, and I didn't go anywhere that special. I went to, like a farmer's market and another market. I went to the downtown at some point, and that's basically it. So after 7 years, I finally returned to Seattle, USA, and the 2016 USA trip is literally one of the most anticipated trips I've ever had in my life. I was super duper excited about this trip. So anyway, it started on July 9th, 2016, where I went from Hong Kong Airport to the Seattle-Tacoma International Airport, Seattle. Yeah, so it's it's a long flight, 12 hours. In fact, I made a 5-hour-long documentary talking about that trip, which is not that many comparing to my latest Europe documentary, which is 13 hours long. So yeah, I'm gonna show you clips of my documentary, but basically, we arrived at an early morning in Seattle, and I was super sleepy. I really wanted to sleep, and then it was early morning, and then my second aunt and her husband came to pick us up, and we went to Redmond, and we stayed in this hotel. It's Residence Inn by Marriott Seattle East, Redmond, and we stayed in there. We almost went to the wrong hotel, but at the end we went into the right one, and I was so sleepy, the first thing I did was storming to my bed and sleeping on it for 2 hours. And that's amazing, because in the USA trip, I truly felt free. Like, I didn't plan for anything at all. Like, I didn't plan where to go, what to do, you know. For Europe, I planned every single thing. But for USA, I didn't. So I felt incredibly free. And at night, we went to this place called Feast. And it's a buffet restaurant. And in Hong Kong time, it's supposed to be breakfast. But in USA time, West Coast, it's supposed to be dinner. So it's a dinner breakfast. And it's a huge buffet. And I was super full. And it's in Renton or something. So that's day one. And for day two, in the morning, we visited my grandma's new apartment in a manor. And I'm not going to tell you the address because I'm not stupid. One thing I really love about the USA is that I could really breathe in the USA. And Seattle is such a peaceful place. I don't know, it just gives off this special vibe. The trees, the air, the roads, they are so wide. And it's actually kind of crazy that there aren't that many people or cars in Seattle. You know, it's just a very free, spacey place that's just very hypnotizing and mesmerizing because of how calm it is. Yeah, calm. That's the word. Anyway, we went for lunch. We went to Doughzone Dumpling House. This is the second day to USA, and we're already eating Chinese food already. Stop. I want to stop eating Chinese food for like 2 months, okay? But you know, to be fair, it's pretty good, I guess. And then at night we went to Isla, Redmond, Isla, and it's this Mexican food restaurant, which is fantastic because in Hong Kong there aren't that many Mexican restaurants. I think it's a Mexican, right? More like, sorry, it's Latin American. And then we walked back home through this path, and we saw a rabbit. Oh yeah, and then it's day 3, and in the morning we don't know what to do, and we were hungry, so we decided to go out. And there were these like chain malls, like is it what they're called, chain malls? Because you know, in Seattle, tall buildings and skyscrapers aren't really like a thing unless you're in downtown. So we're in Redmond, and we want to eat something, and there are these chain malls where it's basically a series of structures, like a complex, and they are restaurants and shops, and they look similar on the outside. Yeah. If you're American and you're watching, you're probably thinking, well, that's pretty normal, right? Yeah, it's such an American thing. It's such an American thing, you know. Hey, this lot of land, it's gonna be shared by a bunch of different restaurants, and it's gonna be this chain mall thing, and you can park cars outside. And again, super spacey, not many people. Anyway, we went to Noodle Land, and it's a Thai restaurant, and I wasn't that hungry, but I still had that. And then after that, we actually went to see my mom's like mother, my mom's mother, but not biological, more like a friendship mother, if that makes sense. And she also lives in Seattle, somewhere deep inside the forest, and in Sammamish, and it's a beautiful place, very spacey, gigantic house, has 3 floors, and the house is in the middle of like a forest, so that's pretty cool, really natural, really countryside. And then in that night we went to a King's Chinese restaurant nearby. Again, Chinese food. Again, I went to the USA not to eat Chinese food. Alright, I need to fix my phone. What's going on with my phone? Anyway, day 4, we went to University of Washington. I need to start visiting universities because I need to prepare. We went to University of Washington, and it's this huge campus place, and I actually saw the broken obelisk, which is this experimental abstract art thing, and it's amazing because I made I did a project in visual arts class, and and I was given the topic of abstract art, and I stumbled across this, and apparently one of the broken obelisks is in University of Washington, so that's amazing. And around the campus there are a lot of cool stuffs. There are places that sell tea, and it's amazing, soap, and that's amazing. And then my mom's friend and her son were also in Seattle. So we went there and we stayed at the same hotel because we wanted to see them and they wanted to see us. So we had like a dinner together at that night. Yeah, so that's pretty cool. And then yeah, we went to we also had frozen yogurt, which is fantastic. I haven't had at this point in my life right now, I haven't had frozen yogurt for probably 3 years. Yeah. Yeah. I want to eat. Yeah. Day 5, first of all, in the morning we went to Pike Place Market. We went to downtown and we went to Pike Place Market, and it is the one of the markets that I had been to in the first trip, so it's very nostalgic, and I really love how crowded and narrow it is. It really brings the nice, friendly vibe, I guess. And also, people throwing fish at each other, tossing fish at each other. And then up next, we went to Space Needle, which is, of course, a huge tourist attraction. It's pretty nice. We had tacos, and under the Space Needle, there was this art museum thing, and it's pretty cool, pretty colorful, and me and my mom's friends and my brother went there and went back out, and we couldn't go up the Space Needle because it's closed apparently, but whatever. And in that night, apparently the Emmys nominees are announced. Oh yeah, also in the USA, I stumbled upon Adult Swim and Eric Andre show, and also Mr. Robot Season 2. Like, it was Mr. Robot Season 2 was literally airing live in Seattle and in, like, West Coast in general, so that's actually amazing. The Cheesecake Factory, and we had Arby's, and we went back home, and that's all you need to know, man. Yeah, thanks for watching. Maybe I won't be able to upload videos tomorrow, maybe because, definitely because I can't film it, so, yeah, damn. Okay, so, yeah, I changed, to a new phone, and I'm recording with my new phone right now. My old phone is completely fried, it's completely gone now, and I would like to, continue to talk about Seattle, USA. I actually recorded myself, finishing off, Seattle, really quickly. So you know what? Screw it, I'm gonna start over again. I'm gonna start from day 5, and I'm probably gonna split this video into 2 parts because there are a lot to talk about, but hopefully I don't, because I don't have that much storage space. So it's day 5 on July 14th, 2016. My family decided to go to the downtown of Seattle, the major areas, the very city, urban areas, and it's pretty fantastic. So the city left a very strong impression on me because of how wide and spacey it is, and also it's just you know, not very messy and gimmicky. Usually very simplistic and very fine, I guess. You know, the roads are not as complicated or as weird as some of the other cities that I've been to, and it's a really straightforward city. It's a really sincere city. And so we've been to Pike Place Market, which is essentially a market that is it's like a huge building complex. And we actually went in there, and it was nostalgic because the last time I went there, I was 5 years old, and it was in the year 2008. I was 6 years old, and it was the year 2009. And it was a pretty narrow and crowded market, and it has a lot of a local feel, a local vibe to it, which I really love. And there are a lot of stalls where they would sell fish, and they would toss the fish around. It's like a traditional thing. And then after that, we also went to this nearby shopping mall that's actually a boat. So that's pretty interesting, I have to say. And then after that, we went to the Space Needle, which is definitely a tourist attraction, with my mom's friend. And it's a way more high-tech place. Before actually going into the thing, we went to eat some tacos. And then after that, we went to the art museum underneath the Space Needle, which has some cool glass art, I guess, and it's pretty colorful. But we never really was able to go up to the Space Needle because it was closed or something. And then after that, me and my brother followed my mom's friend's car, and we went to the Crossroads shopping center, which brings back a lot of memories that I didn't even know I had, because I went to the Crossroads shopping center when I was really little, when I was 6, so I really didn't remember going there, but I do have a few very blurry memories of going there. And I finally went to Crossroads Shopping Center, and it's a really nostalgic place to go back to, and it feels very comfy, cozy. Seattle is such a comfortable place to live in. And then beside the shopping center, there's this Korean barbecue restaurant where we had dinner, and it's pretty nice. And then it's day 6. On that day, we pretty much checked out from our hotel, the Residence Inn by Marriott Seattle East, and we stayed at our grandmother's house. And for the entire morning I stayed there. I have nothing to do really other than homework, and I guess eating. I really love this life, you know, this very lazy life where you don't have to do anything all that much. Yeah, but it would have been boring to come to think of it. Anyway, I stayed in that place, in that apartment, for a very long time, and my grandma has 2 friends who know a lot about going into universities, and so those 2 women talked to me, and it was pretty boring. And then after that, we went out. We went to a bakery in one of these chain malls, and we had some food. And then we went to Bellevue Square, which is this shopping mall, and I have a very clear memory that the elevators in the mall are pretty weird. But other than that, we didn't really do anything all that special in that mall. We bought some popcorn, which are fantastic, and my brother went to the top floor of the thing and played around, and then that's it. And then we have day 7, where we didn't really have anything that, yeah, we didn't really have anything good to do. Oh yeah, I totally forgot. Before leaving that house, oopsies, before checking out from the Residence Inn hotel, by the way, we actually checked out on day 7. We went to this little market across, this little tent market thing, and they sell all sorts of things like jewels and stuff, and apparently it's like this veterans celebration day. So yeah, and then after that we checked out from the hotel, and I followed my mom and my second aunt to a couple of vineyards, Woodhouse Wine Estate and Columbia Winery. And then after that we visited my aunt's apartment, my second aunt's apartment, and saw her very cute cat. And we also had Molly Moon's ice cream, which is amazing. I love ice cream. I don't know about you, but ice cream is like, come on, nobody dislikes ice cream. And after that we also went to the half-priced bookstore, which is a surprisingly amazing store, because there are all sorts of these second-handed CDs, DVDs, and Blu-rays, and you know, there are a lot of classic albums and classic movies, and I was just fanboying over all of these. So yeah, lots of Pink Floyd, Led Zeppelin. Of course, you have your usual Nirvanas and Pearl Jams because you're in Seattle, duh. But yeah, you also have Pulp Fiction, The Godfather, just Shawshank Redemption. I think The Shining is over there. There are just so many DVDs over there. It's like any moviegoer's heaven. And then after that, we had dinner in this burger bar called Tipsy Cow Burger Bar, and that's probably the best burger I've had. If not, then it's probably the one I had in Oslo, Norway, or the one in Hamburg, Germany. I love burgers. I don't know about you. And then at night, we sort of walked past this Marymore Park place, and it was sunset. And it was just very relaxing and comfortable and cozy. So, simply fantastic. And from day 8 to day 11, we went to, from day 8 to day 11, me, my family, my family's friends, and all together, like 15 people, we went to rent a house, a big house beside a lake, or maybe it's the sea. I think it's the sea, in Belfair, and it's pretty countryside. It's pretty far away, and it's I don't know why either. Don't ask why. So anyway, day 8, early in the morning, we packed our stuffs and we were ready to go to this big house beside the sea. And before going there, we had to buy food, so we went to this Chinese supermarket place. It's very small. And then after that, we went to Tamarind Tree, which is a Vietnamese restaurant. We had lunch there, and yeah, it was fine. And then we moved on, and we finally entered the house. And after I went into the house, I immediately got this vibe, this very ominous vibe, like something's wrong with this house. I know that not like we're gonna get killed at night while we sleep, I know that, but like this house would be perfect for a horror movie, for a thriller movie at least. So yeah, I actually made, because I got bored. It was really boring staying in this house. I had nothing good to do other than looking at my phone and eat, and so I got bored and I made this little short video thing where I get scared and chased by this psycho killer ghost in this house. So check that out. I'll put the video in this video. And then on day 9, also nothing good to do. I stayed in the house for the entire time. I kind of walked around a little bit because I wanted to go out. I want to explore. I want to have fun. I want to relax, okay? 2016 is the worst year of my life, and I want to relax so bad. And on day 10, we finally had somewhere to go. There's this a small town nearby. It's called Poulsbo, and we went to this cafe called Hot Shots Java, and we had some ice cream over there. It's pretty nice. And we went to the seaside, and we walked around for a while. We visited some shops and some streets, and that's pretty much it. Also, for the shops in the USA in general, they would put up these signs saying, "Smile, you're on camera," just in case someone decides to steal, which is pretty weird. And anyway, day 11, we finally got to leave this house. We had free chocolate chip cookies, fresh out of the bakery. It's amazing. Also, we had fresh clams, and we had clam chowder and clam omelet and clam everything every day, because we were beside the sea, and we would pick up clams on the beach every morning. So there are a lot of clams. But after that, we left the house and we all parted ways, and you know, it's a good time overall, okay? Anyway, me, my family, and my second aunt, we went to the Nordstrom Rack, Factoria Mall, and a Target nearby, and they are, as always, gigantic. And I also had ice cream, because ice cream's good. And then after that, we also went to the Redmond Senior Center to watch an ABBA cover band. And, you know, I was a huge fan of ABBA when I was really young, so it was pretty okay, I guess. But we left, and my second aunt sort of drove around the neighborhood. We went to a mountain called the Education Hill, and there are all these nice looking houses on the hill. That's pretty breathtaking. And then on day 12, again, we slept overnight at our grandma's place. Anyway, on day 12, we decided to visit my second aunt's workplace, and we went to a cafe nearby. I ordered a beef sandwich by myself, and you know, how old was I? I was 13, and I was in a foreign country, and I ordered some food, and I'm proud of that. Okay, so shut up. And after that, we visited Bellevue College, because why not? Also, my brother was trying on some roller skates. I remember that. And then after that, again, we had nothing to do. We went to 15600 Northeast 8th Street, Crossroads, Microsoft Building 43, and then Starbucks 2020 148th Avenue Northeast, and Marshall's, which is like a fashion shop nearby. And then after that, we went to the half-price bookstore, and I purchased myself Breaking Bad Seasons 4 and 6B on DVD. Second-handed, I know, but it's still really worth it, and it's fantastic. And at that night, I played my France and Italy documentary in my second aunt's apartment's clubhouse, where we also had this barbecue grill thing. And it's just a really fun time. It's really relaxing, and I got to enjoy the moment, and that's why this trip is like the second best trip of my life so far. Okay, so I forgot to talk about day 13, so I'm just gonna add this video in. So day 13 and 14 and 15 and 16. Anyway, day 13 is July 22nd, and we went to a Microsoft cafe in the morning where we could mix drinks and stuff, and it was pretty amazing. And again, it was like downtown Seattle, around downtown Seattle, and the whole city just feels so wide and spacey. And then we went to this really amazing restaurant. It's called Daniel's Broiler, and we had this gigantic meal, and it was I was so full after having this meal. I really wanted to throw up, but it was just really good. Creme brulee. I had creme brulee, so you know, that alone already makes up for the entire meal. Anyway, day 14, we actually went to Kirkland. Again, it's my second time in my life that I'd been to Kirkland, Washington, and yes, we went to Marina Park. It's just me, my brother, and my mom, because my mom has a friend who lives in Kirkland, I think. So we went there, and we went to Marina Park. It was by the sea, lots of birds, pretty nice. Moving on, we walked along the coastline, I think, and it was really beautiful. We went to this little restaurant called Milagro Cantina, and we had nachos. And then after that, we finally reached the place where we had dinner with my mom's friend. It's a beach cafe in Carillon Point, and it was a pretty nice dinner. Yeah, pretty nice dinner. What else do I remember? It was cold. It was actually really cold. In the USA, the sun sets at around like 9 p.m. So when I had dinner, it's like the sun's still up. And but even though the sun was up, it still feels cold. It was like, I don't know, like 20 degrees or something. Celsius, not Fahrenheit. If it's Fahrenheit, we'd be dead already. And then we have day 15, where we went even further up north to Vancouver, Canada. And again, it's my second time that I've been to Vancouver, Canada. Actually, the first time. The first time I've been to Canada, it was Victoria, Canada, on Vancouver Island. But then this time, it's legit Vancouver. So me, my mom, my brother, my dad, and my second aunt, we sat in a car for 5 hours on our way to cross the border. And before crossing the border, we went to this little outlet place, this shopping outlet place called Seattle Premium Outlets in Marysville. And it was large, and it was that's it. Nothing all that special. After reaching Canada though, after reaching Vancouver though, we immediately went to this City Square place, and we went to a restaurant called the Carillon restaurant, and it's a Chinese restaurant, round tables, you know, the usual. And my mom also has friends over there, and also, you know, Hong Kongers. I was actually shocked. Vancouver, Richmond specifically, is such an Asian place. It's scary. It actually scares me. So yeah, anyway, we were in this City Square place, and it looks like a very nice, mellow, natural, not gimmicky, but very sincere little small mall. And then up next, we went to Granville Island. I remember very clearly that I had a stomach ache when I was traveling around Granville Island, and it really sucks. But other than that, it's still a pretty amazing island. Ooh. To be specific, there are all these markets inside. We could buy stuffs in them. We bought like tomatoes and mozzarella cheese, and we had some. And there were a lot of seagulls over there, and those seagulls are gigantic. I've never seen seagulls this big in my life. They're so big. But yeah. And then after that, we went to the Aberdeen Center food court, and I kid you not, I thought I was in Hong Kong. That mall is legitimately Hong Kong mall. Like, it's designed in a way it looks like it could be any mall in Hong Kong. I was actually surprised. Like, wait, wasn't I in Canada? Wait, I'm not in Hong Kong. I'm in Canada. What is this? We went to the food court on the very top, and it's all Chinese words, and it's all like fish balls and siu mai and like fried noodles and fried rice, and I'm like, geez, what? And then after that, we went to White Rock Pier and watched the sunset. It was beautiful. And then we went back home. And on day 16, not much really. We went back to Seattle, of course, and you know, we didn't have anything to do. My second aunt brought me and my younger brother and my dad to Fremont. And we went to this shop called Theo Chocolate. And it's this crazy chocolate shop. You know, there are so many flavors of chocolate in the shop that's available. Like chili chocolate. I remember tasting that very clearly. And it's such a, Fremont is such a weird, artsy, hipster town. Okay, it's so weird. There are all sorts of artifacts on the streets, and there's a literal statue of Lenin. Why is there a statue of Lenin anyway? Anyway, at night we went to this Japanese buffet restaurant place. It was okay. And then we went back to my grandma's place. And then, fast forward from day 16 to day 29. And in between day 16 and 29, I had been to Los Angeles, California, and Houston, Texas. And I'm gonna talk about that in another video. For now, I'll talk about day 29, where I returned from Texas back to Washington, Seattle, Washington. And the first thing we ever did was to go eat at IHOP Pancake. That is the only time I've been to an IHOP in my life. I've been to IHOP once. I had a pancake, and it was pretty great. I also had a hot cup of chocolate, you know, with marshmallows and all, which is like, you know, it's just a very American thing. Like pancakes is so American. Like cereal, pancakes, bacon. It's such an American thing. Like, whoa, dude. Like, what? Then it was day 30, and we had decided to visit my uncle's workplace. And I couldn't reveal that much about where my uncle works and what is his work. And I don't know much either. But it's related to Microsoft. And like 90% of his work are also classified, because Microsoft is a very big and important company. My computer is running on Microsoft Windows right now, so you know, yours are probably too, or maybe you're using a MacBook. I don't know. Anyway, we went to Microsoft. So Microsoft has so many different buildings scattered around Seattle, and we went to one of the buildings. It's called the Mixer, and on the top floor we have this cafe where it's pretty much completely empty because it was early in the morning, and we went in there and we had free drinks. We could actually, there's this vending machine, more like drink machine, and it has all sorts of flavors of Coca-Cola, which is insane. Like cherry flavor, vanilla flavor, lime flavor, lemon flavor, orange flavor, strawberry flavor, you name it. And we could actually mix all these sodas together. And then after that we went to building 92, and we also went to the Microsoft Visitor Center. Yeah, Microsoft Visitor Center is where, you know, all this happens. Wow, I completely forgot about day 13 and 14 and 15 and 16. Okay, so where were we? Day 31. Day 31. It was the second last day, and it felt really final. We went to Costco, and again, it's a really raw, really bare bones, large place where you could purchase products on shelves. You select them and you pay money for them. Costco, everybody. And then we went to a pharmacy. I forgot which one. If you live there, you can tell me what pharmacy is it. And then I went to the half-price bookstore for one last time. It's not the half-price bookstore in Redmond. It's another one in Bellevue. And I got myself a second-handed Pink Floyd Animal CD which is pretty sweet. And then after that, we went to the Cheesecake Factory in Bellevue Square. This is the first time I've been to the restaurant, also the last time. And surprisingly, there's also a Cheesecake Factory in Hong Kong. But anyway, we had dinner over there, and it's a huge dinner. But the real star of the dinner is of course the cheesecakes. So we had all sorts of cheesecakes over there, and it's pretty fantastic, I have to say. And then after that, we went to my uncle's workplace again. Actually, his actual workplace. The one we visited on the previous day wasn't actually his workplace, or maybe it was, but like not really. So yeah, we went to his workplace. We also went to Microsoft Building 16, which is said to be the most fun and colorful and weird and quirky Microsoft building of all Microsoft buildings. And yeah, I've been there. It's pretty weird and quirky, different shapes and sizes. And these Microsoft buildings, they are like mazes. They're really complex. And then it was day 32. It's pretty sad. We had to leave, so we grabbed some Arby's. We went to the Seattle Tacoma International Airport. We took a plane and went back home. And that is basically my experience at Seattle, Washington. It still, till this day, it impresses me how comfortable, spacey, and cozy Seattle is. You wake up in the morning and you could feel a very soft breeze in the air. And it's just so... the skies are so clear and the streets are so clean and crisp. It's just so calm and peaceful and, you know, nothing gimmicky. You know, everything's just so sincere and honest about Seattle. And that's why I love Seattle. It's such a great place to live in. And I guess that is where I would just end off. Seattle, it's a good ass city. And yeah, I'm gonna talk about LA or maybe Houston on the next Me Around the World video. So thanks for watching.